Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm a Minadale, aka Green Grow Guy, and it is a beautiful Saturday morning. Actually, cool. We had a few days of storms. Sometimes, guys, storms could go either way. Sometimes it cools stuff off, other times it just makes things more steamy. In this case, it cooled things off, which is a welcome because it's been hot, y'all. It's been having my allergies act up, my asthmas, all that's been acting up. You understand? But so because we had a little bit of storm yesterday, I'm just gonna come sweep up the backyard because I get leaves that fall and stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If I was gonna do compost this year, make my own compost, I would start collecting it right now because the leaves are beginning to fall off of certain trees. So I would just start collecting them now until probably like the end of October, mixing it with chicken poop and accelerator and anything kind of biodegradable that you want to put in there. Now, when you use the accelerant, if you guys go back and watch my other compost videos, it only takes about a month and a half for it to break down. But I just let it do it over the whole course of the winter. But I'm not doing that this year. So I'm just going to sweep this stuff up and put it in my little garden trash bag and throw that out today. I definitely got to get my winter plants down. I have to get these pods. I have to start getting some stuff done for the water, y'all. I'm kind of slacking low key. I'm on schedule, but I'm very close to being behind. So I know I've been talking about these carrots, but they really need to go down. So I'm gonna get these carrots down. Um, Clear the area for some other winter vegetables to go down. Check pollination on everything. Make sure my summer stuff is still doing this big one. Water anything that I see that needs to be watered. My outdoor stuff should be pretty good because when I say it rained, it rained. So I should be pretty good there. I'm just going to check inside the polycarbonate house. Um, and the chicken coop is still on my agenda, y'all. But today, I think we're going to the zoo. So I only have a couple hours today. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get to the chicken coop today or not. It just depends on what I find when we open up the greenhouse. So let me stop running my mouth and let's open it up. Okay, everybody, now that I did like a quick sweep up of the yard, the initial sweep up of the yard, because as we go along and we see stuff we want to remove, leaves that have fell off other trees or leaves that don't look so great to me, you already know I pulls them off. Okay, you already know I pull them off. But everything looks great so far. I'm gonna be honest. Corn growing. That's another corn growing outside. Here goes the first one over here. Here goes the second right here. So I'm gonna make sure that gets some pollen on it today because I definitely want it to get sorry guys, I definitely want it to get fertilized. And it grows like that, guys. You're not going to get all the ears of corn at once. You may get several at once. Then maybe a week later, you'll get another, two or one. Just progressively come out and check it. You know what I mean? During its pollination phase. Strawberries look good. Now, I did cut some of these back. If you guys were watching my other videos, I was telling you that I was going to reduce the amount of flowers on here so that I could get bigger strawberries because I was getting a whole bunch, but they were all coming out like itty bitty like this. Like, you know what I mean? Which this one is ready. I got to pull it off. So I recently just cut a lot of it off. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the berries. And I'm going to see if that makes a difference in the size of the berries. If not, guys, all that means, guys, is next spring or during the fall, I might make a strawberry just table and grow strawberries. Like I said, this was the first year that we grew the strawberries, and they had these pink flowers. Usually they're like the ever bearing strawberries, and they have the white flowers. So maybe this is just a smaller size flower, like a little a little patio strawberry. Maybe it's a smaller. And my roses, look at this, y'all. Look at that. If y'all were watching the video, y'all know these was looking 8 all the way up. What is this back here? Is this a rose back here? And it is. Okay. All right. So the rose is looking great. Sweet potatoes looking absolutely great. You know what I'm saying? These are the herbs. They're doing their big one. I did plant that thyme down, guys. I don't know if I showed y'all that or not, but we did get it down. She's doing great. I'm gonna give everything. I might give this a little water today. I might not. I have to check the soil because, like I said, we got some heavy rain. Down here, my oregano and my basil is doing phenomenal. Okay, my little basil towers. I'm gonna pick some of that stuff off, especially at the bottom. You know what I mean? My marigolds are okay. They're doing their purpose. They're keeping pests away. Grapes are looking good. You know what I mean? I've had some progress, guys, when we get down here to the bottom. If you see my Yorkies, they're out here with me this morning. You see this cucumber is growing. I'm thinking that it got fertilized, guys, because this was one of the places that the bumblebee was doing its big one. And this is exactly how it will look, the female cucumber plant. It'll have a cucumber behind it, and it'll have a flower at the tip. That will be open. Then it gets pollinated, it closes, and usually if this cucumber isn't fertilized, it doesn't get this big. It just shrivels up right away and falls off. So that gives me hope that it was fertilized. I know that I see like another 2 on there, but as it grows, the position of where they are changes. And this is my okra, y'all. Look at my beautiful okra plant. Look at her. Look at her. Y'all, I want this okra so bad, y'all. Every time I do a video, I'll let y'all know how bad I want this okra. I'm going to spray it down today. I don't know what this is on here that I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm gonna get you together, girl. I ain't gonna let nothing eat you up. She's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? And this is the product of good garden maintenance, y'all. You can have beautiful food. You know you like pretty food. You know the way it does mean something to you. You know what I'm saying? Well, it means something to me. You know what I mean? I like pretty food. I like pretty plants. You know what I mean? I'll take care of it and do what I got to do so that it's pretty. It's as healthy as it can be. You know what I'm saying? But in the long run, it gives me more food. I'm actually going to stake. I need to stake this up today, my pepper plant. And my son's going to kill me because my stakes are near my air conditioning unit. And I'll be like, hop over the little gate and get me my garden sticks. He'll be like, but I'll be using them young legs. Y'all already know. I'm going to use those young legs. But the reason why I'm going to stake it up, guys, is because this is my pepper plant. Here, watch out, Kenneth. This is my pepper plant right here. And you see I was getting a little curvature in it. I'm really not liking this curvature. I wanted to go back up facing the sun like this. So I'm going to straighten her out today because as you see, the peppers are coming. I think that, and that's weird because it's like the only two flowers on there. So you know what? I'm gonna let it do its big one. Oh no, 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 we got some up here. Okay, so I am gonna let it do its big one. You know what I'm saying? But I am gonna stake this up for sure today. That's definitely in my plans. Um, because I like it to grow straight up to the sun, so that I can get, you know what I mean, all the nutrients it needs. So we're gonna straighten it up like that today. Um, and over the course of time, the actual stem will straighten out and follow the way you're training it if you catch it early enough. Okay, everybody. So I stepped up in the polycarbonate house, and guess what I saw? Guess what I saw? It's so good, it's gotta come in song. It's the only way that it can happen. Because when I tell you guys, if you're doing the right thing, you'll come out at a certain point in your season and you'll just start seeing food. And then you know once it starts coming, if you do keep following what I tell you to do, it's going to continue to come. Because you guys already know inside the polycarbonate house. Yeah, now I'm going to drag it. I'm going to beat around the bush until I show you. So give me a minute to beat around the bush. Y'all already know the peppers is growing like crazy. I got tomatoes growing like crazy. You know what I mean? Hot peppers, variations of peppers growing like crazy. And one of the things we did together in a video was we went to Club Eggplant and we shot the club up, right? And you remember what I said? No, we in Club Eggplant and we are shooting the club up, because we was on there pollinating eggplants. Y'all remember all of that? So, approximately a week, maybe a few days less, after we went to Club Eggplant and shot the club up, what we got right up? Would you see that baby eggplant, y'all? You see it? So the technique works. Okay, that is the same exact eggplant that I did a video on, showing you guys how to hand pollinate and how effective it can be. You know what I'm saying? If you maintain your garden and come out here like I do every morning, you know what I mean, quickly. Sometimes I'm out here quickly. Sometimes I'm out here for about 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, guys, hand pollination, it guarantees you a certain amount of food. And then you'll be able to start really being able to chart, hey, I can grow in a season 8 eggplants. You know what I mean? For me, that's a lot of eggplant. It's a lot because I also grow other squashes. You know what I mean? I just don't grow eggplant. So if I grew 6 eggplant, so I got 1 officially growing. Let's look at it again. Let's look at what we did. We are proud. So I don't know if that was like eggplant IVF. I don't know. But we were definitely playing fertility doctor with the eggplant. And she having a baby, y'all. She having a baby. And mind you, this was the eggplant that I planted from seed. Okay. It's humongous. Guys, it's like probably almost 5 foot. Okay. Expect around 3 feet, 2.5, 3 feet for this thing to even start showing flowers. That really might mean something. The initial flowers, I'm gonna tell y'all, the initial flowers don't mean things. Not as much. And if you find yourself holding on to the initial flowers, that fruit, you'll wind up having a low production. Because where the plant should be concentrating on foliage, it's concentrating on fruit generation, and that stops the other flowers from growing, because flowering is a part, the end stage of the foliage. You know what I'm saying? So You want the foliage process to happen. You want your plant to mature on at certain times. This is why fertilizers are important, because if you see, hey, I need more foliage, you can say, let me put some more nitrogen in here. I'm just giving you an example. I want it greener. I want more foliage. You know what I mean? I'm instantly going to nitrogen. This is how you're able to create a kind of like prediction chart on what you can grow and how you can sustain yourself, because people say, I don't grow enough food to do that. I don't have enough space to do that. Believe it or not, if you got a freezer and some Ziploc bags and you're growing your own food, you'd be surprised at what you can do and what you can really store up and save. You can get fancy and go to jars, but with fruits and vegetables, I'd be Ziplocking them joints, because at the end of the day, that's what you would be buying from the market, a plastic frozen bag of veggies or fruit. You know what I mean? Or you would have it fresh. Same thing. You know what I mean? So keep all of that in mind. But I'm so hyped about my little eggplant, y'all, because I already know. And I see 2 more flowers on it. One, we did pollinate, but we only did it like one time. It was one good time, but I don't know if it's going to take. It's still there. The flower is closed. It hasn't opened back up yet, but the sun hasn't fully risen here. Well, it's up, but it's not on the polycarbonate house. And sometimes for squash plants, it actually takes a little bit of direct sunlight to open them up. So I'm out here this morning. If that thing open up, club eggplant, shoot the club up. You know what I mean? Because I like eggplants, and you can do a lot of stuff with eggplants because they're real hardy. You can use them. I make a great eggplant lasagna, y'all. When the eggplant is ready, I'm going to show you how to make an eggplant lasagna. And even for people that eat meat, they'll eat this real good. But anyway, I wanted to show you all that, okay? Because I want y'all to see the things that I show you to do will yield what I tell you is going to yield, and how it's going to work out exactly like I'm telling you to work it out. And we didn't do nothing but go in up on the flower, and now we're eating. And this, guys, I'm gonna be honest, at this point we're using the rainwater. This is free. I bought these eggplant. I've had these eggplant seeds for at least a year. And to be honest with you, out of the whole pack, that was only two seeds. One fully matured. Like, where am I losing? I'm not losing at all at this point. So, I'm over here at my watermelon, y'all. And I'm looking at my little young, you know what I mean, plant. You know what I mean? She's looking good. I would like her to be looking better. I would like these leaves to be way bigger by now. You know what I'm saying? I do see the watermelons that I had on here, I popped them off because they weren't looking good, and they were the young watermelons. Now I do have an itty bitty baby right here. I don't know what that's going to be hitting for. The plant is a little bit more mature, and like I say, guys, don't hold on to the initial baby fruit if it's not doing so great. If you don't think your plant is mature enough to feed that fruit, you know what I'm saying? You need the foliage on the plant to be green, to be healthy, to be of a substantial size, because this is what feeds the fruit. This is where it gets its energy from at night when it goes to sleep. Okay? That's how the process works. So, like I said, I want these leaves to be way bigger before I start getting nice sized fruits. And that's why the little teeny watermelons that were on there in the previous videos, that's why they fell off, guys. It wasn't enough to feed it because the plant is still very young. It's still getting acclimated. Okay? So don't worry about those things. And if you pop them off, guess what? Flowers, flowers, flowers. Take care of it. Force it to, give some blooms after you're satisfied with the size of the leaves. Okay? And that's just knowing how to use your fertilizers. That's all. So I'm okay with this as of right now. Now, I planted some little marigolds in here, and I do see the little seeds popping up because this was my second. This is my second watermelon starter. Okay, because my first one got the fungus, and I had to restart it. You see this guy right here? Yep. As soon as you see him, grab him and get him out of the house. I don't do slugs. I don't do slugs. And you shouldn't be doing them in your garden either. So, what we're going to do right now, guys, because I'm running my mouth, is I'm going to figure this section out with these tomatoes, because I'm not getting tomatoes, because look at it, yo. It looks crazy. It was growing in a nice ball, and then all of a sudden it was like, you know what? I'm not doing it no more, and then it collapsed. So now I have to figure something out. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, figure something out, probably off camera. You know what I'm saying? And once I come up with a solution, I'll cam back up, and I'll show you guys what's good. And don't be surprised if I again try to propagate some tomato plants, because I had tried earlier in the season along tomato plants and mint. I don't know if you guys remember. If you don't, go watch the video. I don't even know if I put the video out, but it was a good propagation. However, we went through like a heat wave, and it was like 102 for a series of days, and it just fried it up. I was trying to keep them wet and trying to protect them, but it just didn't work. And that's what happens sometimes. You know what I mean? I wasn't watching the weather, so to me it was unexpected. You know what I mean? I could have waited, especially on the mint, because the roots were great on the mint. But I just wasn't watching the weather, and that's what ended up happening. But I'm going to get these tomatoes together, and I'm going to figure something out. And then we'll go from there, guys. Be right back. Okay, everybody, so first things first, what I did is I had to untangle these tomato vines. As you can see, they're really tangled up. And during this process, I actually had to take down the llamas, you know what I mean, just to make space for these tomatoes, guys. And you'll see how I set everything up. And this is the best that I could get it at this time. Hopefully I can bring some green into it. I'm taking off all the dead stuff. And I'm just going to try to position it so that it's out of the way. I'm tired of these tomatoes. Okay, y'all. So this is what I came up with. At this point, I just got to let it hang down. Now, granted, it's not the most prettiest thing, but it definitely gives me the space that I wanted, because it got to the point that it was smothering out my blackberry. Then my blackberry was it caught the fungus. It wasn't even trying. And then treating it without infecting the tomatoes and all this other nonsense. It was just going bananas. So I'm happy right now. I'm going to train this blackberry to grow back up so it can get its sunlight. See it being a little slouchy just because of the weight of the tomatoes. And I mean, and I'm mad because I got a tomato. You know what I'm saying? Because of the sun. I did cut a lot back because I was going to propagate and have a whole bunch of tomato plants. But it didn't work out like that because of the heat. Like I said earlier in the video, I sprayed everything down. Everything got watered, guys. Everything got watered that you see. Yeah, let's look at her again. Let's look at her again. Yeah, she got neem oiled, y'all. We gave her a little neem oil, you know what I'm saying? Put her on a protector, you know what I mean? Because we want her to stay beautiful. She got some water. The pepper plants got watered. These watermelon, I didn't water them because I recently watered them like yesterday. So I'm going to let them just suck it on up, you know what I mean? Get some sun. I did spray them with neem oil though. I stay spraying these squash plants, y'all, because squash bugs is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? And you once it starts, you just don't want it to start. I'm gonna spray some of the soil too because I see the slug tracks. I picked out a few slugs out the garden. It was damp, so you know what I mean. Just know when to look for things, to spray for things because y'all see, y'all already know I don't like my leaves all ate up or whatever. When I turn back around, get over here. This is the area that I'm gonna use for the carrots. So tomorrow we're gonna build this up a little bit because I want it to be higher. I at least want it to fill up to about this level. All right. So I got a bag of dirt to throw in there, along with some fertilizers and stuff. You know what I mean? So that's prepped and ready to go. This is my corn. It's looking good. It's growing, y'all. It is growing. Let me see if I can get in there for y'all real quick. If y'all can see that. You know what? I'm going to go around this way. Oh no, we finna look at you. It's growing. So I'm excited about that. Is this one growing? It is. It is. Okay, it is. It's being a little weird, but it's growing. This one's definitely growing. I have another ear of corn that showed up on my outside corn, so I'm happy about that. Okay, everybody, before we begin to start our fall pods, all right, as you see, I put this up on the tomatoes up on a higher trellis. I'll turn it back around. I did add like a brace across it, just with some garden wire, guys. I just tied it back to the 2 posts that I set in the back. Okay, one of the things that happened when I was trying to release this down is I didn't see in the back that I had tied this up. So you see that break right there, guys? All right, but I'm being honest, there's several things I could do. Could I make some new tomato plants? Yeah, but that's not really where I'm at with it. So I'm just gonna do a quick fix so it doesn't die necessarily. We're gonna kind of band-aid it back together because it's not all the way broke, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna attempt to do. Now, will this attempt 100% absolutely save it? Maybe, maybe not, but if I don't do anything, it will definitely die. So it does raise the potential for it to survive, at least to like the 70th percentile. Okay, as long as I take care of the rest of the plant, I should be able to mend it together doing what I'm about to do. And this is an urban farming, you know what I mean, rigmarole, because I have done it and it has worked. Trust me, y'all. Y'all saw Club Eggplant. Trust me. Trust me. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to need 2 Q-tips, some clone gel. You might see this called Clone X, or and the only thing it does is it helps build new roots in here, so this connects. A lot of times people use it when they're doing transplants and things like that. It helps establish a quick root system to keep things growing and alive. We're going to apply some with some clean Q-tips and this crack here, get it nice and juicy, and then we're going to take some black duct tape and wrap it real nice and snug, like a band-aid, y'all. We're going to patch it up, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it should do the trick. Okay, y'all, Because I was recording by myself and I needed both of my hands, I had applied it. But it's a few things I want you guys to know when you're doing this is do not double dip this Q-tip. That's why I use both ends. As you can see, I poured a generous amount out. I got it coated. You ain't gotta, be sparingly. Get your coat on, okay? Get coated up. Coat it up, okay? Use both sides. Get all around it. As you see, I got it all in the cracks because I want this to mend. Once you use this and get it nice and dirty, this is trash. The reason why you're doing this is because if the plant has any type of disease, you're going to transfer it back into that bottle, and you don't want that. So always use a clean Q-tip or a paintbrush, or just regardless of what you use, make sure it is clean and you do not double dip it. Very, very important. Okay, y'all. As y'all can see, my final step genuinely was just wrapping it up with the duct tape. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep an eye on the actual part that's mending right here. Now, I do expect it to maybe get a little bit, wilted or something like that. But I do expect it, if it's going to survive, to bounce back. So now that we've repaired that, we can finally plant these carrots. Actually, y'all, I decided to plant some radishes beside my carrots. So I actually already made the radish holes. Okay. So we're going to set those down. Then I'm going to flip this around so y'all can see. I'm trying to really promote some corn growth in here because these are the actual ears. All this is the actual ears. And I have another one down here. They're growing okay, but I can get them fatter quicker. I ripped one out. And I'm just going to heavy feed it some nitrogen without burning it out. I think it slowed down because of that whole polycarbonate fungus thing going on. You know what I mean? It was a lot, y'all. But we got it under control. We still getting food. You know what I mean? This is the area that I had cleaned out yesterday or today, getting these tomatoes together. So this area is prepped. I added a little fence here too because I'm going to plant carrots, and like I said, I don't want the carrots to migrate, nothing. I put the fence down as a barrier. I know not to plant beyond that. I don't want to absorb anything from this corn. It's got a couple more weeks, and I really needed to start doing this big one. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I want to say all ears on the corn, but but you guys get what I mean. So right now, y'all just gonna watch me plant some radishes. Now radishes are a 30-day root plant if you grow them right. The size depends on the space. You're gonna want to plant them about a 1/2 inch deep. I plant them about 3 inches apart. All right. Nothing magical. You get what I'm saying? We're going to plant them down. I already fed this soil with the nitrogen, potassium, the phosphate. It's already healthy, juicy, ready to grow soil. So I don't have to worry about any of that. Only thing I have to do is get these radishes down and finally put these carrots down, because we're ready to eat the food in the fall and in the winter. Because we already got our teeth ready for some stuff. So we got to start the next round. So let's get to it. Okay, everybody. Now that I done put these radishes down, and I'm going to be honest, I just made the little holes, y'all. Popped 3 seeds in there. You know what I mean? You can see when I opened up the package, it was a lot of seeds in there for $1.69. So I'm not even mad at that. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to discover new things, you know what I mean, to use radishes for. You know what I mean? So if anybody has any ideas, put them drawings in the comment. You know what I mean? Definitely something that I want to add to my diet. You know what I mean? Way more than what it's already, in my diet. Um, but moving right along, you know what I mean? We're going to get these carrots down. Again, these are burpees. No, they do not sponsor me, but burpee. If you wanted to, I'm open to the suggestion. Just saying. But I also got these seeds from the Family Dollar, y'all. Don't pass by seeds, okay? So, only difference right now, definitely is the brands. But these seeds from Family Dollar tell you to plant them a quarter of an inch deep. These tell you to plant them a half an inch deep. Just follow the instructions, guys, so you can get carrots. All right, only thing I did was take my finger and maybe dredge about a half inch. I guesstimated, y'all. And then I did a quarter inch for this section right here, halfway through. And then I'm going to dig deeper for the bottom half over here. Sorry, guys. I'm going to dig a little deeper because I got a lot of seeds to put down. Now, am I going to put all these down? No. But I'm going to put a good amount down because, you know what I mean? That's just what I want. I want some good bunches. You know what I mean? They got a decent amount of space to grow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to it. But I'm going to get these seeds down. I'm going to show you guys how I get them down. And we'll go from there. Okay, y'all, what I will tell you, as you can see, as I was getting those carrots out, it was a lot of carrot seeds that came up in there, so I didn't use all those packs, okay? Shout out to Burpees. I'm open to that sponsor. But anyway, one thing you're going to do with these carrots, guys, is just cover them the half inch that you buried them lightly. You know what I mean? Don't pack this down. As I'm doing this, I'm going to take the excess soil. Okay, let me turn it around and show you. I already covered the carrots just very lightly. You're just covering it. You already put it down a half an inch. Okay, so don't get the burying it even deeper. Now I'm just filling up these radish holes. I am going to give this a light tap. Okay, I'm going to give this area over here a light tap because I want that to push a little bit. All right, I want it to push a little bit to come out. All right, so that you don't get these really long, weird, funky stems. Okay? So, right now, guys, we actually made a lot of progress today. I think this is definitely going to be part one. I'm going to pick off with part two, getting these pods down. I'm going to take a break, get some stuff down off camera. And as always, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? It's greatly appreciated for all my new followers. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Much gratitude. And I will always, as always, I will see you guys next time.